The rain fell relentlessly that night, washing over the cold, unforgiving concrete of the rooftop. Two titans of intellect stood poised on the precipice of destiny, their silent confrontation echoing the storm around them. One, a detective of unparalleled genius, the other, a god in the making. This was the moment, the precise second, when the scales of justice were meant to tip irrevocably. Rem, the Shinigami, her intentions clear and deadly, prepared to execute the ultimate judgment. Her target, L. Light, the world's greatest detective. But what if, against all odds, that judgment never landed? What if, in that critical instant, the meticulously crafted plan of a death god faltered? This is the core concept we explore today, an alternate reality where L. Light survives. Imagine a sudden, inexplicable gust of wind, a momentary distraction that shifts Rem's trajectory. Perhaps a subtle miscalculation, a fraction of a second off in the timing of her fatal stroke, or even a last-second, unforeseen intervention, a flicker of movement that draws her attention. Could L, with his uncanny instincts, have sensed the impending doom and, in a desperate, impossible maneuver, evaded the fatal blow? The possibilities, however slim, ignite a profound what-if moment. This single deviation reshapes the entire narrative, plunging us into a world where the game continues, unfinished. In this altered timeline, L, ever the master strategist, recognizes the profound opportunity presented by his near-death experience. He understands the immense power of appearing to be defeated, of vanishing from the public eye. His survival becomes his greatest weapon. L orchestrates his own disappearance, a meticulously planned vanishing act that leaves no trace. The world, and more importantly, Light Yagami, is led to believe that Kira has claimed his most formidable opponent. The news spreads like wildfire, a chilling testament to Kira's perceived omnipotence. Light, consumed by his messianic complex, revels in this perceived victory. He believes he has finally eliminated the only obstacle to his new world order. This triumph emboldens him, fueling his conviction that his path is righteous and unstoppable. With L seemingly out of the picture, Light continues his reign of Kira-fueled justice with renewed fervor. He expands his reach, his methods becoming even more audacious, his confidence soaring to dangerous heights. The world trembles under his unseen hand. Yet, Light remains blissfully unaware of the truth. He does not know that the shadow he thought he vanquished still watches, still analyzes, still plots. L, the silent observer, becomes the ghost in the machine, a phantom menace Light cannot detect. From the deepest shadows, L initiates his secret operation, a clandestine war waged against a global phenomenon. He operates without a name, without a face, a disembodied intellect dedicated to justice. His resources are limited, but his resolve is absolute. L meticulously monitors Light's every move, every public statement, every subtle shift in Kira's pattern of killings. He dissects the data with an obsessive precision, searching for the slightest anomaly, the smallest crack in Light's carefully constructed facade. His analysis of Light continues, unceasing and relentless. The psychological profile he built remains his primary tool, constantly updated with new observations. He understands Light's ego, his need for recognition, his fatal flaws. With every new victim, every pronouncement from Kira, L gathers more pieces of the puzzle. He is not merely reacting, he is actively plotting Light's downfall, constructing a trap that will be inescapable, undeniable. This is a game of patience, of intellect, of sheer will. The rivalry, once a public spectacle, transforms into an intensely private, breathtaking psychological chess match. Each move is calculated, each countermove anticipated, in a silent war for the fate of humanity. The stakes are immeasurable. The cat-and-mouse game intensifies beyond anything seen before. Without the constraints of public scrutiny or the need to protect his identity, L is free to pursue Light with an unyielding focus, pushing the boundaries of his own genius. In this altered reality, the infamous Yotsuba arc unfolds under L's hidden surveillance. He observes the machinations of the 8 executives, their desperate attempts to harness Kira's power for corporate gain. This provides L with invaluable insight into the Death Note's capabilities and the human greed it exploits. Misa Amani, still blindly devoted to light, continues her role as the second Kira. Her actions, her unwavering loyalty, and her Shinigami eyes become critical data points for L. He watches her, not as a pawn, but as a key to understanding Light's methods and vulnerabilities. Misa's exploitation by Light, her willingness to sacrifice everything for him, is carefully observed and analyzed by L. Her reckless behavior, her public appearances, and her direct connection to Light offer L avenues of investigation that were previously too dangerous to pursue openly. Crucially, in this timeline, the need for successors like Nier and Mello might never arise. L's continued presence means the investigation never fragments, never loses its original singular focus. The baton is never passed because the original runner never falls. The narrative focus shifts entirely, becoming solely centered on the original rivalry, the intellectual duel between the world's greatest detective and the self-proclaimed god. The complexity of their personal conflict takes center stage, unburdened by new players. The intellectual duel between detective and student becomes the singular driving force of the story. Every interaction, every deduction, every countermeasure is amplified, creating a narrative of pure, unadulterated mental combat. L's objective is now singular and absolute, to gather enough irrefutable evidence and leverage to expose Kira. He must achieve this without sacrificing his own life, a lesson learned from his near-fatal encounter. His survival is not just personal, it is strategic. The stakes are higher than ever before. L is no longer merely trying to catch a killer. He is fighting to dismantle a global cult, to restore order to a world teetering on the brink of absolute moral collapse. His failure would mean the triumph of Kira's twisted justice. The narrative becomes even more cerebral, a relentless exploration of strategy, psychology, and deduction. Every conversation, every piece of information, every silence holds profound meaning. The audience is drawn into the intricate workings of L's mind. Tension builds with each calculated move and subtle clue. The pressure on both L and Light is immense, a constant, suffocating weight. The game is no longer about who is smarter, but who can endure, who can outwit, who can ultimately break the other. Ella's hidden presence creates a pervasive sense of unease for Light, a phantom itch he cannot scratch. He senses a lingering threat, a shadow that refuses to dissipate, even as he basks in his perceived victory. This psychological torment is L's silent weapon. The conflict evolves into a battle of endurance, a test of wills that pushes both protagonists to their absolute limits. The world watches, unknowingly, as two minds clash in a silent war for its very soul. In this reimagined reality, the ultimate mind game between L and Light continues, a relentless, unforgiving struggle for dominance. The question lingers, a haunting echo in the silence. Who would emerge victorious? Would L, operating from the shadows, finally gather the undeniable proof needed to expose Kira, bringing Light's reign of terror to an end? Or would Light, emboldened by his perceived victory and unburdened by immediate threats, grow too powerful, too cunning, for even a hidden L to defeat? This alternate path leaves us with a profound, unanswered question. Does L's survival ultimately lead to Kira's downfall, a triumph of justice through unseen vigilance? Or does Light's unparalleled cunning prevail, adapting to the unseen threat, leaving the answer shrouded in mystery, a testament to the endless possibilities of their unfinished game?